Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Democrats, right? You're all Democrats? And you all intend to vote in November, right? And you're all going to vote in August, right? So in November, tell me how many times you're going to vote, each one of you? Once? Only once? Okay, as often as you can. How about 10 times? You think each one of you would like to vote 10 times? Well, I'm going to show you how you can do that today. All right, 10 times. And that's without moving to Chicago. All right. So this program that we're launching today, we call it the Neighborhood Network because it's based upon neighborhoods and it's old-fashioned community organizing. Right? Barack Obama was a community organizer. That's what he did in Chicago. Right? That's how people got to vote 10 times, I guess. But here we can do the same thing in our own neighborhoods, community organizing. It's very different. I want to go to very different from mobilizing. Most campaigns that use the techniques of canvassing and telephoning, all those things, are mobilizing. Why? Because they're candidate driven. It's just one candidate. And they're only out for themselves, and it's short term, and when it's over, they go home. Organizing has a longer term focus. It's people driven, it's community driven. It's all based upon the values and needs of the community. And it will remain. What we do in this program will benefit not only 2018, but 2020 and beyond. And that's why the Democratic Party has endorsed it. So the program itself, and this is a PowerPoint that you'll all be receiving if you participate in this program, and you can use it and show it to people when you have your own gathering. But the program is really simple. It's really easy to understand and easy to do. Essentially, there are people who vote in presidential elections and don't vote in gubernatorial elections. And there's more than you think. They're your own neighbors. Right? And there's reasons for it. There's many reasons for it. But in every single one of the precincts where you live, there's at least 100 of those people. And they're low-lying fruit. They're all Democrats. They all have voted for the president in the presidential election, and it's easy to go after them. Right? So I'm going to show you how you can easily get at least 40 of those people to vote for sure in 2018. Now, there are 875 precincts in Palm Beach County, 875. So just multiply, take 800 times 40, and you have 32,000 votes. How many, who out there knows, how many votes did we lose the gubernatorial election by in 2010? Anybody know?
1%.
How much?
I think it was 1%.
It's less than 1%. Any number, actual number? 65,000 votes. 65,000 votes. And how about in 2014? I think it was even less. 60,000 votes. So by what we can do in this program, we can pick up 32,000 votes in Palm Beach County. That's half of what we need. The party is targeting the Orlando area for the other 32,000 votes. That gives us 65,000 votes, exactly what we lost by the last two times, and we still have 65 counties to go to offset any increase from the Republicans or whatever, right? So in this room, there's probably, 40 people? You're probably in 40 different precincts. So if you take those 100 people, we're asking you to approach roughly 100 times 40 or 4,000 people. Out of those people, you are very likely to get 1,600 votes. Let's think about that. There are 1,600 additional votes in this room alone through this program. So how does this program work? Well, we're putting together a network of people like you, committed voters, Democrats who vote all the time. And we call those people hot voters. Right? So all of you are hot voters. Congratulations. And who are warm Democrats? Those are the people I already told you, who vote in the presidential elections, but not in the midterms. So take a look at numbers. Votes for Congress. 2016 in District 18. How many of you live in District 18? Okay, that's a very important district for us this time, right? So in the presidential election, look at that, 152,000 total votes. In the 2014 election, 102. And only 2/3 as many. So there's 50,000 votes, so that's split among Republicans and Democrats, but there's a lot of people there who we can get out to vote. Look at District 21. That's Congresswoman Frankel's district. 335,000 votes. In 2016, only 102 in 2014, and the same two people were running. Municipal elections are another example. I always show this because people, you can go into almost any municipality in Florida when they're having an election and say, "Are you excited about the election today?" And they all say, "What election?" Right? Nobody knows. So there was not a single municipal election in March out of the 22 in which more than 15% of the people voted. Look at Lake Worth. We got involved in Lake Worth a little bit. There's 18,000 roughly registered voters, only 2,400 voted. It's amazing. So we know why it's so important to vote in 2018, right? Governor, that's the principal reason. U.S. Senator, control of the U.S. House, control of the Florida Senate for the first time in a generation, maybe 2 generations. We actually have a chance to control the Florida and flip the Senate. They are defending 7 seats. We're defending 0. So this little all of you will get this, and you can look at it in some detail yourself. This is Mike Coleman's strategy to win, and it's being rolled out statewide by the Democratic Party. And it looks really complicated, but it's not. If you look over there in number 2, where it says estimate of future voting, hot voters, all of you, can be expected in the midterm election to turn out at the rate of 85%. Warm voters at roughly 40%. New voters under 30%. And cold voters, the people who we go out in the van, we take a look at them and we see they haven't voted since 2002, 7%. So we are targeting for those extra votes. We don't want 65,000 votes. We want 100,000 extra votes. We are targeting the warm voters. See it, number 3 down there, the 42%, 40%. And the method we're going to use is just get them to fill out vote by mail. And the way we're doing that is we're literally printing out everybody's name. So when we give you a list of warm voters, and you have John and Mary and Sam, you'll have a vote by mail piece of paper all filled out with all the information that Joe and Mary and Sam need, and they just have to sign it. Once they do that, they're likely now to vote at the 80% rate instead of the 40% rate. There's your 40 votes out of 100. But we're looking for more because our program is a little unique. It's not just getting them to sign the vote by mail, it's to stay with them, to create a neighborhood team, to do things together, to maybe canvass together, to do postcards together, to create the bonding of a unit so that you all support each other. And that's one of the best ways it's been shown to get sometime voters to become all the time voters. And so we're thinking that we can do better than the 40 votes, maybe we can get another 10% and get 50 votes. Now this works in every precinct throughout the county. Now we take a, how many of you speak Spanish here? Any of you? 1.5. 1.5. 1.25. People will say to me that, well, you need to concentrate in certain precincts where it's basically Hispanic or it's African American, where the vote totals are a lot less than they are in some of the Western communities. And that's not what this program is all about, because those 100 votes are in every precinct. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're in Valencia Point, there are 100 voters out there. 100 voters we can go after, and it's in a way easier to go from the 70%, which Valencia Point does, 70% during the midterm elections, and get to 80% than it is sometimes to get into a an eastern community where they do 30% and try and get them up to 40%. It's a little harder. So what does the network do? We're asking, it's really two phases. The first phase is we're asking you, if you're all going to be our community coordinators, right? I should start referring to all of you as community coordinators, so you get used to it, right? And you as a community coordinator are going to find 10 other people who are going to help you. Because a precinct usually has somewhere between 600 and 1,200 registered Democrats. So there's no way, no matter how organized you are, no matter how committed you are, you're really going to be able to handle 1,200 or 1,000 Democrats. Right, Nikki? All right. Even if you're a precinct leader. How many people here are precinct leaders? All right, so if we break it up, the 1,000 people, into 10, right, with 10 lieutenants, 10 people to help, now you have 100 people to focus on, and that's doable. That's really doable. So phase one, find another 10 people. Phase two is then for each of those 10 people to go out and find and reach the warm voters, another 10 or 20 in their neighborhoods. And I'll show you exactly how we do that in a minute. But what does the network do? It connects. That's the key thing. Host people in small informal gatherings, you can do that. Or if you're in a gated community where you know everybody already, reach out and find your 10 people one by one. Call them up on the phone. You can do that. Okay? Adopt the warm voters and mentor them. That's one of the main differences. When I go out and canvass, which I love to do, how many people canvass here? You all like to do it?
Yeah.
How many yeses? Who likes to canvass? So do I, okay? So the best thing about canvassing is you get out and meet all these people. It's really great, but you only see them once, you'll never see them again. Plus the fact you go out and knock on 25 doors and you'll speak to 5 people. Okay? That's all you speak to. I did the calculation. In order to come up with your 100 warm voters that you're actually going to get to vote, you would have to knock on 7,500 doors. 7,500, you have to go every single day of the year and hit 25 houses. Okay? Like Florida 18's been doing. That's right. That's right. But in this case, all you have to do is talk to your own neighbors. They're in your own community. You never have to go outside your own community. And you can have a good time while you're doing it. That's the difference. So you want to educate them about the importance of the elections. You want to engage your self-interest. One of the key things I think that keeps people from voting, it's just my own personal opinion, you can agree with me or not, is that in the presidential election, there's only 2 people running. And the ads are all over the place. It's very easy to figure out who those 2 people are and what they stand for and what they're running for. But during the midterms elections, you have all these candidates running around with advertising, governor, senator, Congress people, different districts are overlapping with their ads and everything. You have all the local, the school boards and everything else is all going on at the same time. And you have the House of Delegates, you have the Senate, you have all these people. I don't think people understand what's going on, and they just are ill-informed. It's not that they don't want to vote. Christelle's contribution to this. It's her design, and it is pretty much what this program is all about. You are the host. You are the community coordinator, and you reach out and find those hot Democrats in red. See, they're hot, and there should be, say, 10 of them. And they reach out then to the warm Democrats. And then later on, we're going to reach out to independents because we in the party have the ability to, with some algorithms and some stuff that we do, have a good idea which independents are likely to vote for Democrats. And so when we've got our team together, that team can then reach out to the Democratic-leaning independents in their neighborhoods. Now, initially we're focusing on gated communities and condominiums and precincts without precinct leaders. Communities of color, undervoting communities. I'm going to skip all this, but this actually gives you all the details of how the numbers work out and why some of the things that the party does, some of those things are not effective. You can make robocalls until you're blue in the face. I mean, you can just call all night long, and you might get one additional person to vote out of 900 calls. Direct mail's not much better, leaflets, all of these things. And I kind of broke it down to show that the social contact that we're talking about is 15 times more effective than canvassing. And those numbers that I gave you, actually you can work out those numbers. You have to do a lot of canvassing to reach those 100 people and get 40 or 50 of them to actually vote. So what do you have to do? I've already explained it. Reach out, connect, have a gathering in your house, and then send your lieutenants out to do the same thing. Now, what's our contribution to this Foundation Indivisibles? We give you everything you need to be successful, actually. We give you an invitation if you want to actually have an invitation. That's what my wife and I did. We sent out a nice little invitation, invited everybody to a wine and cheese party, and we got 8 people. It's pretty good. And 8 of them all said they would do it, which is even more surprising. Because I had 20 condominiums, and I didn't know anybody in these condominiums, so now I have 8 of my condominiums covered. And then we're going to do another one, and we'll do another one. There's a community coordinator we have, Peter Eckstein. He's in 3126. That's in West Lake Worth. And he had one, and he sent out like 30 or 40 invitations. He only got 6 people. But 4 of them said yes, they would do it. And so he wasn't discouraged, he did another one. And then he got 8 people. And is Linda Solomon here? Yes, Linda's one of those. Right? Linda's one of those. So give her her husband signed up too. So you can do more than one of these things, and it's a fun thing. I met some very nice people when I had my session. I think basically we've talked about all of these things, and hopefully we're going to turn uninformed voters into educated voters. Voters who are unaware of what's going on. Adrian was just telling me, she was talking to somebody today about, and you get excited about the primary. What primary? Primary in August. Really? Get them, the people who are not engaged to be engaged, and the people who've given up down there at the bottom. We need to take back our democracy. Really, that's what this election really is all about. It's probably the most critical election we've had in our lifetime. So we need you to make this work. Without all of you, this program, goes nowhere. So thank you all for coming. Now, what I want to show you is once assuming again that you all say yes, I've been waiting for this all my life, and this is what I want to do. Then the next step is show you how does this work and what do we give you. So give me a moment or two. Mark, get me out.